There's something incredibly touching about how a cat, peacefully napping at the other end of the room, suddenly gives a slight twitch of its ear at the sound of your voice. Not at a loud noise from the street, not at the television, but specifically at your softly spoken phrase. It's as if an invisible thread connects the two of you. But is this just a simple habit or something much deeper and more complex? Do they really recognize us by our voices? And this is where it gets really interesting. After all, to a cat, our world is an ocean of sounds, most of which are just background noise to them. They can hear a mouse squeak behind a wall and the hum of the refrigerator with equal clarity. And yet, amidst all this cacophony, your voice is a special beacon that they unmistakably distinguish from thousands of others. How do they manage this? And what secret mechanism is hidden behind this seemingly simple act? Let's figure it out together. To understand this feline superpower, we need to look at the very structure of their ears. Imagine two incredibly sensitive locators that can rotate 180 degrees independently of each other. 32 muscles control each ear, allowing them to capture sounds with astonishing precision. It's as if we had built-in satellite dishes. But how exactly does this help them distinguish your voice from your neighbor's? It's all in the details that are inaccessible to the human ear. Cats can perceive ultrasonic frequencies, which allows them to pick up the subtlest overtones and unique vibrations in the timbre of our voice. To them, your voice is not just a set of words, but a complex sound score, a unique vocal fingerprint. And this is where their little secret lies, which scientists have been able to confirm. We humans mostly hear the melody of speech, its intonation. Cats, on the other hand, hear its entire texture. For them, the difference between your here, kitty kitty, and a stranger's is colossal, like the difference between a violin and a piano for us. This is why they can ignore a guest calling them in the exact same way you do, but perk up the moment you give a soft cough in another room. However, sharp hearing alone wouldn't be enough for such magic. You've surely noticed how your pet, without even opening its eyes, slightly turns its ears towards you when you speak to it. This is not a sign of indifference, but on the contrary, the highest degree of attention. It's their way of saying, "I hear you, and I'm here." This is the first and most honest response in your dialogue, which should not be underestimated. But the ears are only the beginning of their silent conversation. If a cat responds to your voice with a slow blink, a slight twitch of the tip of its tail, or a soft purr, consider it the most sincere declaration of affection. This is its way of saying hello in its own feline language. Unfortunately, people often expect a more dog-like, boisterous reaction, and because of this, miss these gentle signals. What is the most common mistake we make in this dialogue? We tend to measure their love by our own human standards, but a cat's affection is quiet, subtle, and incredibly deep. The practical advice is simple. The next time you call your kitty, don't expect it to come running head over heels. Just watch carefully. There will be a response, and it will be very sincere. But why did they decide that our voice in particular is so important? At the core of this behavior lies the most ancient survival instinct. A tiny kitten in the nest learns to distinguish its mother's call from all other sounds, as its life food, warmth, and safety directly depends on it. When a cat comes into our home, this powerful mechanism is transferred to the person it chooses as its primary guardian. And this ancient instinct works absolutely flawlessly. Your voice becomes a sonic anchor for the cat, a signal that everything is okay, that it is safe. It's like the sound of our mother's footsteps in the hallway during our childhood. It immediately brings a sense of calm and comfort. That's why cats are so sensitive to intonations. They may not understand the words, but they perfectly read your mood from the melody of your voice, distinguishing praise from anxiety. It's a bit like how we ourselves react to familiar sounds. Imagine you are in a noisy crowd where everyone is talking at once, but suddenly you hear someone say your name. You will instantly single out that sound from the general hum. Something similar happens with a cat. Your voice is its name in the world of sounds, a signal intended only for it. But many people still believe in one very common and hurtful myth. There is a stereotype that cats are independent to the point of being selfish, and they don't care who fills their bowl. This misconception was born from their reserved way of showing affection, so different from the exuberant joy of dogs. A cat won't jump to the ceiling, but its affection is no less real for it. So where did this deep misconception come from? Scientific studies completely refute this myth. In experiments, cats were made to listen to recordings of their owners' voices and those of strangers. The reaction was unequivocal. The animals reacted much more actively to the familiar voice, turning their heads, moving their ears, changing their posture. They most often simply ignored the strangers' voices. Scientists discovered something truly astonishing. This effect persisted even when the cat could not see the person. The mere sound of the owner's voice triggered an orientation response and even a reduction in stress levels. This is direct proof that they form a deep emotional bond with us, in which the voice plays a key role. And this unique bond has a huge impact not only on them, but on us as well. When we come home tired or upset and start talking to our cat, a small miracle happens. The very fact that a living creature is listening attentively and responding to our voice is incredibly calming. It lowers the level of cortisol, the stress hormone, and gives a feeling of being needed and warm. But the benefit of this vocal communication is absolutely mutual. For a cat, your calm and affectionate voice is the best remedy for anxiety. For example, during a visit to the vet or a move to a new house, it is the familiar intonations that help it cope with fear. Your voice literally creates an island of safety for it in a frightening world of new smells and sounds. There are many touching stories that confirm this. Remember the famous library cat, Dewey? He interacted with thousands of visitors, but he would only truly come out of his secluded corner at the soft call of his librarian owner. This bond was special. It tells us that for a cat, we are not just a source of food, but an entire universe with our voice at its center. But how has this amazing ability developed over the centuries? Let's go back in time for a moment. At the dawn of domestication, cats were more like useful partners to humans. They protected grain stores from rodents, and people provided them with shelter and safety. Back then, cats listened mainly to the rustling of mice, not human speech. But at a certain turning point in history, everything began to change. In ancient Egypt, the cat transformed from a simple hunter into a sacred animal and a member of the family. It began to be loved, cherished, and pampered. It was then, thousands of years ago, that the ability to understand humans, respond to their calls, and read their intonations became an evolutionary advantage for cats. Those who got along better with people received more care and protection. This is how the foundation of their unique skill was laid. Since then, this bond has only grown stronger. From medieval castles and the decks of explorers' ships, the cat has migrated into our cozy apartments, becoming a full-fledged member of the family. And over all these centuries, its hearing and brain have been fine-tuned to understand us better and better. Our modern relationship with them is the result of a long journey together. So what really goes on in their little heads when we call them? So does a cat recognize its owner by their voice? The answer is a definite and firm yes. It doesn't just recognize it, but singles it out from hundreds of others thanks to its phenomenal hearing, which captures a unique sound pattern. This ability is dictated by ancient survival instincts and millennia of living side by side with humans. But most importantly, it is sealed with genuine emotional attachment. And how do your furry friends react to your voice? Do they run to you immediately, lazily open one eye, or perhaps pretend to be terribly busy with their very important cat business? Share your warm and funny stories in the comments. We would love to read them. And of course, if you enjoyed our tea party today, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel. Next time, we will uncover another charming feline secret. Why do they try with such persistence to squeeze into any box, even the tiniest one, that they find in their path? Believe me, the explanation will truly surprise you. Until our next cozy meeting,